All right, so today we're going to talk about solving inequalities. Solving inequalities. Well, let's define what inequality is. And again, I'm not sure what you guys had in middle school, although I think you've probably seen this before. An inequality looks like this. What is that a symbol for? Yeah.
Less than.
Less than. Good. We have less than. Of course, this is greater than. Right? That's what an inequality looks like. What is that symbol? Yeah. Less than or equal to. Less than or equal to. And of course, this would be greater than or equal to. Greater than or equal to. Okay. And those are inequalities. What goes along with inequalities is graphing. But we're not going to be graphing on an XY coordinate. We're going to be graphing on a number line. A number line. And here's the way we're going to do this. We're going to put a 0 in the middle. We don't have to make little marks. And let me show you how to graph x is less than 5. And this is how we're going to show it. We do not have to make all the little marks up to 5. 5 is about at that spot right there. I want all x values, because this is your x number line, I want all values less than 5. Can it equal 5? It cannot equal 5, it's just less than 5, so I'm going to put an open circle there. And I'm going to put a line with an arrow. This signifies that I want all values of x that is less than 5. Yes?
So that means that you don't know what number is less than.
Right, it could be any of those numbers. Infinite number. Okay. All those numbers less than 5. Now, the difference is, if I had less than or equal to, how does that change it? What do you think, Ben?
It can be 5 or less than 5.
It could be 5 or less than 5, so let's take this circle and we fill it in. So if it's an open circle, then it cannot equal 5. If it's a closed circle, we call that a closed circle, then it could equal 5 in that situation. Right? So let's try a couple of simple equations. Let's try an equation where it says x plus 2.5 is greater than or equal to, well, let's say negative 3.5. And this is not any different than solving a regular equation. And how would you solve a regular equation? What would you have to do? Yeah, Sydney? Minus 2.5 from this side and minus 2.5 from the right side. Nothing really changes from what we're going to do today. The 2.5 and negative 2.5 cancel each other out. And so x is greater than or equal to negative 6. Negative 3.5 minus 2.5. And then we're going to graph it. And all you have to do is your number line. We're going to put a 0 in the middle. We know that negative 6 is somewhere over here. Right there? So let's mark it, negative 6. Is it an open circle or a closed circle? Aaron?
Close.
closed, because it could equal -6. And do I put an arrow to the right or to the left?
Right.
To the right, because I want values greater than or equal to -6. So I think you're going to find this lesson not too difficult.
Greater than is always a closed circle.
No, not necessarily. Greater than or equal to. If you see the equal to, that's a closed circle.
Um,
All right. So let's try another example. Let's take x is less than, well, let's change that. X minus 1/2 is less than -8. Okay, yes.
we have the plus 1/2.
We have to add the 1/2 to both sides. These two will cancel. And I have x. Now sometimes they list this variable as being an m or an n. It's no big deal. It's solved the same way. The less than sign stays. Now what's -8 plus 1/2?
-7.
-7.5, -7.5. Let's write it this way. We draw our number line. We put a 0. And -7 is over on this side, isn't it? So here's -7.5. And that's really all you have to do is just show me where the number is. Sydney, is that going to be an open circle or a closed circle?
An open.
An open circle, because it cannot equal -7.5. And I want values less than, so we're going to put the arrow to the left. Okay. Does that make sense? Good. All right, let's try this. The sum of -3 and a number, oh, let's say m, is -11. All right, and let's change that. Instead of is -11, let's make that is greater than or equal to -11. So the sum of -3 and a number m is greater than or equal to -11. Zach, tell me how I can write that.
-3 plus m.
-3 plus m,
And the greater than or equal to sign.
the greater than or equal to sign.
Then make 11.
Right. So it's not really that difficult, is it?
We do m minus 3. Can you do m minus 3?
You could do m minus 3, yes. Right. And so I add 3 to both sides. And m is greater than or equal to -8. Open circle or closed circle?
Closed.
Closed circle, here's -8. We always want to put where 0 is. A closed circle and an arrow to the
Right.
right. Okay, and that's how we can show all values of m are greater than or equal to -8. All right, so that's today's lesson. Your homework is going to be on page 359 and 360. And we're going to do problems 3 through 34. 3 through 34